All right, let's get started right away. We've been beating up on you to produce parts, and everything's hurry, and everything's, got to have it yesterday. Don't want you people to think we're crying wolf, and that we don't really need this stuff, and it's not important. And the person to best tell you why it's important and the benefit to the company of what you're doing is Avram, I think. So I've asked him to come down and spend a few minutes and maybe tell you what we're up to. Avram?
I say that we're basically there because I know that we're going to make it. And I understand how we're going to make it. There's so many decisions that each one of you take, decisions that have to do with the quality of something that you're doing or how much effort you put in. And we want to be number one. Because when you're not number one, you don't control things. And that's no fun. It's fun to be the leader. And we're the leader of mini computers. We have 38% of the mini computers. And we want 38% of the personal computers, or 40%, or whatever it takes to be number one. And in that marketplace, that means to build a business that would be, by 1985, fiscal 85, $3.5 billion. The plans are currently to build over 120,000 small systems the first year. And in the home computer marketplace, where he doesn't really do a good job, then the Japanese will walk away with it. And believe me, we can't let that happen. I mean, we absolutely cannot let that happen. If the American public ever gets in their head the idea that the Japanese make a better product, once they believe that, you're finished. You know, we only are successful if every person here is committed to making this program successful. Because every one of you has an opportunity almost every day to make a major difference in the program.
Personal computer market is the biggest single market in the world today. And to understand that, you've got to understand that information and the movement of information is the single biggest market in the world today. Presently in the United States, we're spending about half of our GNP merely at handling, moving, changing, processing information. The personal computer is the doorway into that market, is what's going to allow people to converse better, to handle information better, to do their jobs better. So if you ask how big the personal computer market is, you really have to ask how big is the economy, how many people live here, how many people are going to work.
In 1957, a team of 3 engineers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology designed a revolutionary new computer, the TX-0. One of those engineers, 30-year-old Ken Olson, was inspired by the experience. $70,000 and an idea, he founded Digital Equipment Corporation. The PDP-1, Digital's first computer, launched a virtually unbroken string of technical and financial successes. The PDP-6, a time-sharing computer created by 4 engineers, including Gordon Bell. The PDP-8, the world's first mini-computer. The popular PDP-11, still the best-selling mini-computer ever. By their 25th anniversary, Digital had become the world's second-largest computer company, with 68,000 employees working in 39 countries and 5 continents. But after all these achievements, Digital still had not entered the personal computer battle.
It was clear that we had an obligation to make a major commitment to the personal computing. We have experience in just that area, which no one else did. We understand how it fits in to many areas of life better than people who have made thousands of them. It was so clear we had an obligation to do it. We had the resources and the technology. It was just clear we had to do it.
Every year, Digital develops dozens of critically important new projects. People working together are the essential ingredients of success. One such team of people was the CT Group. Ron Ham, in charge of software. Michael Weinstein, merchandising. Art Williams, hardware. Var Erdikian, manufacturing. Avram Miller, project manager. A small business within a large company, a microcosm of what Digital is all about, as a company and as a culture.
If you had asked me in the beginning of the program what the chances were of succeeding, I'd say probably less than 30%. And I really picked people to work with me that were willing to take that personal risk. In fact, I told each one of them, I said, you know, you should assume that, that there's a good chance we won't succeed.
5 months into the project.
Pin 6 to ground, do that again.
The early sketches are beginning to materialize into something you can see and touch. By now, the first breadboard assembly units are taking shape.
Looks like we're not conducting through the, we're not conducting through that, we got no ground. There's no ground there, we're missing it on the edge.
Oh, I see.
The personal computer, so far only an idea and a stack of blueprints, is tentatively beginning to come to life.
I think we're missing the ground on this whole run.
I've always had an interesting perspective about schedule. You know, there's never been a time in this program that everything was good. There have been one disaster after another disaster. There's not a day goes by that I don't have major problems. And it never surprises me. I didn't expect anything else. I've never felt better about the schedule than I feel today. We have confidence in ourselves as a team of people to deal with these things. I want us to believe very strongly in what we're doing and believe that we can make it, because once you believe you can make it, you'll find the ways to make it. Once you believe you cannot make it, you will fail. Absolutely. And it's something you have to look in your heart. If you have to be able to believe. It's absolutely essential.
What we're trying to do with computers is to make a machine that in fact is so good that in fact it can be a intellectual companion with humans. And so that, you know, just trying to do that is so hard and so intellectually stimulating that that's really what keeps the industry always moving and always vibrant.
An engineer is a very creative person. He's totally motivated by challenge and creativity, doing something generally that hasn't been done before. They will give you more than your 100% effort if you simply show them that you trust them, believe in them. When there's elegance, it's there. There's no doubt about it. Elegance, it works. It's just the best.
If we're successful at a personal computer, it'll be easy enough to use that it'll be natural. You never notice the curvature of a hammer. The handle of a hammer took years to develop, or a hatchet, an axe. You don't notice it. It feels good in your hand. No one will notice that it works well. If it's clunky, if it doesn't fit, if it requires the user's mind to go down a path that the user doesn't normally go, it will be declared computers. Programming is a lonely art. You're by yourself. You're trying to create something from nothing. So it's just as easy to create in the wee hours of the morning. And they have this tremendous need to build the best, to stretch themselves. I've seen programmers rewrite what I thought was perfectly acceptable coding because it was somehow better. They had a vision or an abstraction of what was slightly better. They need to create. They simply want to create something from nothing. You can't see software. You can't photograph it. You know when it's broke. You barely notice it when it's working well. But the programmer knows he's created something from almost nothing. There's something about him in that, or her in that code.
Moving right along. Keyboard. We're not too good in the operation. Everything, it all looks good, all the keys and everything. But still working that membrane technology. We haven't got a vendor that can deliver a good membrane. And as of this morning, lo and behold, with all the new keyboards using the old springs, even with the rubber pad, they're breaking. They keep telling me it's solved, but when 50,000 people with 30,000 memos and 8,000 telephone calls, something's got to be wrong.
Where this is concerned, the major dollars are involved right here.
The problems kept mounting.
The technique's still the same in removing a module from here.
Right.
The keyboard, the monitor, the disk drives, the software, the manufacturing plan. And the pressure was immense.
There's an incredible pressure, and the pressure is in the form of a responsibility. There's a feeling of an urgency. There's a feeling that if we are not able to make a penetration in this market within the next year or two, it becomes more and more difficult. The other people become entrenched. There's a second consideration. We digital are more a culture than we are an organization. It is our ability to turn into a new direction. And insofar as people in the CT program feel a responsibility for pinpointing that move or providing a new direction, then we carry a cultural responsibility. I think to understand the CT program, you have to understand those two dimensions. One, the fear of failure, the other, the exhilaration of possible success.
March 1982. The CT group has been pushing hard for over a year. The personal computer still doesn't work like it should. Stress and exhaustion are taking a toll on the whole group. A psychiatrist visits one day.
I've been involved with you now for almost 18 minutes, and I'm exhausted.
I think you're under too much stress.
You'll get past We'll give you credit for perception.
This tension level in here before this happened now was absolutely palpable. It was to the point of real discomfort. Okay, correct me, help me to understand what's really going on. You have a task that involves many too many hours for many too many people over a long period of time, and you got to get it done. There are inherent, inalienable stresses that you're under that are all bad. I mean, you have people who, for whatever reason, wonderful or crazy, whatever the reason is, have chosen a way of life that inherently includes working under stress. In fact, a leader's job is to absorb anxiety. Their anxiety and your anxiety are linked like that. They're not one-to-one related, but they're linked like that. If you're feeling angry about what you're doing, they are going to feel a lot worse. And that the corporation's depending on you. You have a major role to play with these people. That's very exciting. If you can convey it to yourselves and convey it to the people who work for you, that is a positive mental health step.
Industrial design was saying that they want that recess just a little smaller.
We got 281. Want to bring it down to a quarter?
Building a computer, breathing life into a mass of inanimate objects, is an enormously complex task.
Okay, you're going to analyze them distance?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody was saying that the depth of this thing might be a little off from the drawings. So why don't you analyze...
Hundreds of people have to work together. A highly trained extended family sharing a common language and a common goal.
Yep.
What do you say we run a plot of this and bring it up to them and see what they think of it?
Good.
Thousands of small and large decisions, most of them invisible, have to mesh perfectly into one working whole. High technology is an art, a product of imagination and discipline.
Well, this one isn't a problem, just feeding back. That ground's the thing I'm worried about most. I'll put those resistors. Okay.
Time.
6 to 6. Whoops.
Quiet dedication. Concentration. Attention to detail. Those are the ingredients of eventual success.
There you go. All right, we got the clock there. Good.
Probably the biggest danger, biggest human weakness, comes about from a few years of success. It blinds us, it blinds anyone. Pride, probably the biggest human weakness.
All right, so let's speak to the point of how IBM can clean our clocks, or how Japan can clean our clocks, and what we're going to do against it. I mean, I don't want to drag this meeting down to a bummer, but tell me.
Are we going to lead or are we going to follow here?
why don't we, instead of waiting for what they do, why don't we put a strategy together that lets them play catch up?
Really, no matter what we look at from the Japanese, everything is lower and the quality superb. Everything.
I mean, if I were to be out there competing with us, I wouldn't try to compete with us in the Fortune 1000, because we have that, right? So where we're vulnerable is the fact that we haven't figured out a strategy for the small business.
I feel more comfortable, maybe I'm just psychologically more comfortable doing something than sitting back and waiting for them to drop it on us.
Well, no, but what we're doing is trying to build the best possible products today, okay? I mean, what would you like to do? Do you know a better way to build a better product? Then we should be building it, irrespective of IBM, because if it's not IBM, it's somebody else, see?
Anyway.
Yeah, I leave with an uncomfortable feeling.
What do we do?
Yeah, what do we do?
May 3rd. In just 1 week, Digital will announce its new personal computer to the world. Finally, after an 18-month marathon, things begin to fall into place.
Ah. Now what we got here,
That's fabulous.
You like that?
I love that. Let me. I would like to type on it.
It's turned a lot of people around.
Yes. Now that's a picture. Yeah, that really is solid. Right.
Look at this one. This is really beautiful.
May 8th. During the last few months, the project has come to dominate the lives of the CT family members.
Is it possible for, let's say, if I have the computer at home, is it possible for me to call you right there and talk to you in digital?
Yes.
I mean, I don't have to type into it right
You have to type my name in. You can say Papa. You say Papa, push a button. And you know what you're going to find out? Well, it's going to come back and say, busy.
The computer you make is from digital.
That's right, but I don't want you to ever take candy from a computer you don't know.
I only know yours.
That's right.
Today, there will be a party for all the people involved with the CT project. A family day, especially for the children.
100, but we made 50 last week. See, next week we'll make another 50, so.
Digital's commitment to personal computing began...
Look at the bottom key.
Color graphics are also important.
Okay, are you all ready? All set. Gonna look right here and smile, please. All right, you're all done. Putting it all the wrong way. Dad, that's the right way, Mom.
That's the right way.
May 10th. An international video conference via satellite to announce the personal computer to the world.
Right there. Okay, you can even pan it a little more left. Right there. That's perfect. Okay.
This was the moment they'd been waiting for. A major watershed in the life of the project.
On behalf of all of us at Digital, I would like to welcome the 300 journalists from the 15 countries who have joined us here today in Boston and via satellite link-up in London and Toronto.
This set of projects has created more enthusiasm, more fun, more excitement in the company than I've ever seen before. Now we think we have a set of products that have all the features that we've ever wanted in the machines.
But even as the video conference beams to the world, they know that this is only a media event.
One wire plugs behind the monitor.
In the last month, 4 other computer companies announced their new personal computers. And as of today, Digital has only 50 working models of their personal computer.
Good things. And either way, we'll supply the equipment. But we're not aiming toward that. We're not dependent on that market.
The real work is still ahead.
Somewhat serious computing, if there's bright children.
With the announcement over, the last big push begins. Getting ready for high-volume, high-quality manufacturing would create pressures that Digital had never faced before. Totally new manufacturing techniques, rethinking every step of the process. One false step in their planning could seriously damage the project, and they knew it.
The toughest task we have ahead of us now is to integrate our 6' manufacturing plants and get them all together to work together with the half a dozen secondary plants where we have to put together our manufacturing strategy and build the highest volume product we've ever done before.
It was a new world, and the adjustments weren't easy. June 2nd, new automated machines are brought in. Manufacturing is gearing up for the personal computer. The people in the plant spent months redesigning their jobs. They analyzed their best and worst jobs before coming to Digital, looking for values that worked and for those that didn't.
I did all day long. I stood at my machine and I riveted. And I riveted as fast as the stuff came down the line. If it came down slow, I riveted slow. If it came down fast, I riveted fast.
Machine-paced?
Yeah, totally. Again, it was sort of a little bit of the fear atmosphere that Evelyn was describing. There were 2 breaks during the day plus a lunch, and they'd blow the whistle in the factory, and everything stopped. It was amazing how fast that stuff stopped when the whistle blew. And then people would go out, and you'd sit down for 10 minutes and catch your breath, and the whistle would blow again, and you'd be back up and running. It felt like a jackrabbit, up and down, no control of your own life.
Could you say a little more about the what you call the putting together of the socio and the technical needs to produce product, or that integration?
Well, people have needs. If we go and do a technical analysis of the work that has to be done and can design the work so that it meets both the technical needs and the social needs, present challenging work, give people a variety of tasks to do, give people recognition, let them work on a product where they feel ownership to it. All the things that we've all said, that implemented into the work design will make us a successful organization.
Before manufacturing can begin, the personal computer has to go through the tough design maturity tests, the DMT, a grueling battery of torture tests.
I've got something on the order of 4 or 5 keyboards out of about 15 that have come back with failures, that have got 9637 failures. That as far as
unexpected failures start to crop up in every part of the machine, throwing the manufacturing plan into jeopardy.
Okay, we need to have the failure analysis, the causes, and the risk associated with those failures in starting DMT with the keyboard.
Gee, you said we've had the problem now for 2 years. Is this just a new chip that just came out?
The RAC team did not know that 39s were available until last week for all the users.
Sounds to me like a telephone call today has to be made to understand the availability of that. And my suggestion is to get that into the production run.
So that's a biggie. Find out how many we can get, how soon we can get them to facilitate the 6-9 startup. Could we push for 150?
I'll push for 500, but
because it's
four
per.
I'll use our negotiation skills and get what we can. Hello? Sam, this is Ray Larson. I talked to you yesterday on the 9639 chip. 30,000 pieces. Have they been tested? Do you know if they've been tested? And they're okay? Super, super. Okay, that's fine. That gets DMT rolling.
June 3rd. With the chip problem solved, the DMT starts in earnest. The machine is put through every imaginable hardship. The drop test from a height of 1 meter. The sound test in a specially designed chamber. Heat tests, humidity tests, radiation tests. Until the personal computer is flawless, digital will not proceed with manufacturing.
I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to build because nobody's telling me. Based on that, we will also be able to decide whether you can go build more DMT2 units from your production units. Take away from production.
Given that today is 6/3, and on 6/3 we know we've got a whole bunch of issues which may preclude this start date, this number then becomes in jeopardy.
We have to build a new schedule. Yeah, that's right. That schedule is no good.
That's correct.
What is your position in Westfield today? Do you want to still say you can get units out in August because we have 1,000 built, or that we can't do that based on the schedule and it's still September 30th?
And the answer is, assuming the DMT is far enough along, yes.
A crisis with the monitor suddenly hits.
I can actually see a little jiggling that you can see that it was foreshortening a certain amount.
Do you think this is unacceptable right now?
There's a white line going across the center of that raster.
You start seeing these very, very predominant bars going up and down on the monitor screen.
The people in this room agree we can't live with the problem? Everybody? Okay. All right. So as long as we all agree that we can't live with that particular problem and won't live with it, we'll start to, we got to get in, what are we going to do about it?
My solution is to run off some type of a free terminal regulator. So maybe we get plus 9.5 or something like that, and have the plus 12 volts out here.
June 4th. In just 1 week, the National Computer Conference starts. The work continues steadily, around the clock.
It probably is more important to have a short demonstration of very effective visual things.
Yeah.
And almost no voice, so that you give a chance to the people to get all that visual stuff in their head.
We don't agree.
Yeah, no, but I'm trying to explain.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Assuming people couldn't hear a word that I was saying, could they come out with an experience that I've just seen something that's different than anything else I've seen? You see?
I mean, there has to be some script to be able to give the information, because I do want to be able to talk about the resolution.
Well, why?
My best demos sometimes are the ones where there aren't a whole lot of questions.
Oh, yeah, but I'm just trying to give you my thoughts here.
Yeah, well, I'm giving you back mine.
Yeah.
Now, this is the kind
Sure, it's all right.
So what time are we supposed to get in there tonight?
Probably about midnight.
Check these out once we get to Houston. And hope it all works.
What's the status of the demo?
Well, the status is that we sent all the units down last Friday. Got my fingers crossed they're going to make it. Yeah, they're going through the tornado belt right now. We weren't able to run the demo on all of the units before we shipped it, even though we've had a lot of units for quite a while. I think we're pretty confident about the 350 systems. It's just that the day that we shipped them, they were actually building the last 325, so we didn't get a chance to run any of the demo software. So we really don't know whether or not the thing is going to work when we get it down there.
I think that's kind of scary.
It's just that the floppy drives themselves are, in my opinion, are not that reliable yet. I really don't feel we've been through DMT enough with them. So I feel really very uneasy about that. whether it's going to work.
Today we're announcing many new and exciting products, including all-in-one, Digital's Office Plus system, which brings together all the traditional and not so traditional features of an office and can be accessed from a single terminal or workstation. Good morning. Welcome to the National Computer Conference and to Digital's Office Plus exhibit. Today we're introducing many exciting and new products, including all-in-one.
That will print any bitmap image that you have on the screen. Oh, you also can have it. Yes.
You have to hit this first. I would have hit this if you hadn't moved it over. If you make a mistake,
56 megabyte fixed disk, 205 megabyte, and 121 megabyte. And all these will fit on an intelligent control array exists.
I think this machine is going to be one of the more successful personal computers.
And here we are with a booth of new products, and we've got to be number one.
Digital's personal computer is the hit of the show, a tremendous success. But typically, the project people are restless, worried. They've got to check out the competition.
Ooh. Oh, ooh, ouch. That's impressive. At least on the surface. Yeah.
I mean, I bet you they have a standard.
All kinds of new goodies. Go on up and take a look.
Oh, super.
68,000.
Another 68,000.
256 KB of memory and a NEC 7220 chip.
Good, it's good stuff.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
What do you think of that stuff?
I think they're the best. Fortunately, they're small.
Yeah.
It's not something that's actually plugged in yourself.
I don't understand why people put on and off switches in the back of things. You never can get them.
Very powerful unit, very expandable, very flexible.
Okay. It's a help key?
Yes, a help key, and we have 5 function keys, which can be...
So far so good, providing we don't get carried away. I'm amazed. Yeah, cautiously optimistic.
Okay. Is that what you did with the parking meter last night?
No, it expired.
I'm still amazed that the big guys did not do better.
I'm kind of underwhelmed about the competition. I mean, I really expected something.
Yeah, I expect something too.
It's sort of disappointing in a way.
If this was supposed to be a war, it was depressing. And it was supposed to be a war.
We went from being nobody to probably considered to be one of the top couple.
That's right. We now are the only people in the world out there with a third-generation system.
That's right.
I'm happy we did it. I think a lot of people, I'm better for it. A lot of people are better for it. On the other hand, I don't know. I don't think people understand what we did or tried to do, and that, so I guess I feel very disappointed.
I think most of the people in the group have had a very powerful personal experience. And it's possible for them to think that it never happened. When it would go away. And I hope that they don't lose that.
I want to welcome everybody who's in communications. You out there, and computers and all that stuff.
Finally, after a 2-year marathon, the CT people take time to celebrate in typical Texas fashion.
In a way, I'm glad it's over, even though it's gonna hurt me once you've gone. I can learn to live without you. Give me time and I can make it on my own. Loving you became easy. Losing you will change my life, know that.
Right now, there's several tremendously creative projects going on. The personal computer, that's one. Now we go on to others. Each one is a danger. Danger that we're not bright enough, danger that we don't see it correctly, danger that someone gets there earlier and does a better job. But then life is filled with danger. What we do today, tomorrow sounds old. Tomorrow, there'll be a new challenge.